Hello, folks. This is Bruce Parks with Battleborn Patriots, and we're interviewing Joey Gilbert, who is running for governor of the fine state of Nevada. Joey, for those folks out there who don't know you, could you introduce yourself to us, please?
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. Joey Gilbert. I am a local attorney, but most importantly, I'm a Nevadan. I've been here. I moved out here from the west to the west when I was right before fifth grade from Chicago. I went to Our Lady of Snows. Then I went to Bishop Minot. Then I went to the University of Nevada, where I was a three-time national champ as a boxer. I was a four-time regional champ, four-time All-American. I went on to win the Golden Gloves in 2000 as a super middleweight down in Las Vegas. Because of Mills Lane, he talked me into getting into the military, so I entered the Air National Guard. I also got accepted to law school, went to law school down in San Diego, and while I was in law school, they put me on individual ready reserve. So it's actually a Federal Reserve component of the Air Force. I served that out till 2007, always a little worried I might get called, so I was prepared to take a commission as a JAG officer if that took place, and that was absolutely in place. But that didn't occur, so I went on through, just finished law school, moved to Las Vegas, spent 5 years living in Las Vegas doing all kinds of different work in law and in boxing. And then eventually after the show, The Contender, I was on Sylvester Stallone's show, The Contender on NBC. That gave me a huge propulsion into my fight career, ended up letting me fight and win. I got a ring on here. I won the WBO, NABO middleweight belt. I won the WBC, USNBC middleweight belt, was ranked number 3 in the world by the WBO and number 7 in the world by the WBC. I retired in 2011 with a record of 21-3 with 17 knockouts. I became a full-time father and opened a law practice. My law practice has since done really well. This last year, we were awarded Best of Reno, Best Law Firm in Reno, and also Best Personal Injury Attorney in Reno. And I've won a bunch of those awards. So I also went on, I did some stuff in cannabis. I opened the first dispensaries here in town and then sold out of those. So I'm a little different mindset there. And cannabis is legal in the state, so I was very proud of that. But I'm a lawyer. I'm a father, and I'm a father first. I'm most important, I'm most impressed, and most proud of that. My daughter is my number one priority, and children are my number one priority. So I love being a dad. I love being a lawyer because I'm able to help people, and I love being a businessman and just entrepreneur because I'm an innovator. I fix problems. I find solutions to tough problems, and that's really what I'm about. So that's who I am, Joey Gilbert, local Nevadan, and someone who's very interested in fixing this state.
Well, and that leads us into the next question, Joey. Could you please share with us why did you decide to run for governor?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. I don't think I decided to run. I think it was kind of decided for me. I saw the frustration in a lot of Republicans here in Nevada that there's not someone who's got an America First driven mission, who's going to put our civil liberties and our constitutional rights first, who's really worried about voter integrity, who's going to be focusing on our children and our schools, who's going to be focusing on jobs here in the state, how we get power, how we get water, how we build more infrastructure. And I just wasn't seeing it. Focus on, America First also applies to immigration, someone that's going to cooperate with the federal authorities, meaning ICE, and not throw them out of Metro Police Department down in Vegas. Someone who's not going to defund our police, but fund our police. And then again, I'm pro-life 100%, but I also think a lot more needs to be done for women's health. I'm a Second Amendment guy, and I'll take it even a step further. I think our Second Amendment needs to be expanded and strengthened, but I'm 100% behind constitutional carry. And I think how we get to that is public funding and using off-duty police officers and military veterans that I could promise you would love to show up at any range or any place to help you learn and become more familiar with your firearms. So that's what I'm all about. There's more stuff we can get into, but I'm running for governor because there's no one else that has this position and that had the position of our president, but I'm not trying to run for president. I'm running for governor. So I'm going to be modeling Ron DeSantis and Kristi Noem. Those are the two people I'm focusing on. I like what they've done. I think I can do things even better than they do because I really have a background in this whole COVID nonsense. I've been the only one fighting this for 16 months at every county commission meeting, school board meeting. And I want to say this, it's important. I've helped to open 8 counties. I don't want to take anything away from these counties. I've gotten some feedback. I did nothing to open these counties. These county boards open these counties, and these local county DAs open these counties. and decide to make them constitutional counties. But we got some unbelievable rural sheriffs that I will partner with. And my hashtag is never again. We will never again shut our businesses. We will never again shut our churches. We will never again shut our schools, our kids' sports, our gyms. And there is no such thing as a non-essential business in this state as long as I'm governor. And I will on day one sign pledges or legislation to that effect to make sure there's never a vaccine passport, mandatory vaccinations, and that your child will never be stuck in a face diaper again. That much I can promise you. And that's why
I think you might be being a bit modest. I know how instrumental you've been in pushing some of these county commissioners. However, well, that of course leads to the next question, which you've touched on briefly, but could you please expound on why should we vote for you?
Well, everyone should vote for me for the simple reason that I punch for the people. I fight for the people. This ain't political to me. This is about the Constitution. This is about our freedoms, our civil liberties, our children, our beautiful children that have been tortured for a year for no good reason. Our bought and paid for corrupt hack of a governor, and I'm sorry that's what he is, and I'm going to call him that from this day forward until the day I'm sworn in Carson City. What he did to this state is atrocious. It's despicable. It's political. Florida's been open with in-person schooling since August 2020. Was it a different virus? No, it wasn't. And then we saw what he did to the businesses, what he did to the churches. People should vote for me because I'm the only one that's willing to stand up against the corruption, against the establishment of both parties. And you best believe it's in both parties. I'm the only guy that's going to stand up for the people and fight because I don't care. I'm not a politician. I'll never be a politician. And the sooner I could be back in the private sector with my daughter up on my boat in Tahoe and enjoying these beautiful lands that we live in, the sooner the better. That's all I got to say. I'm in this thing to fix what's broken, to fix this school. Let me say this. It's not that there's not enough money in these schools. It's the defunct and corrupt administrators behind them. And that's everywhere. Let's audit the Nevada Department of Education. Let's audit the hospitals. Let's audit the sheriff's departments and the counties. Let's audit local government. Let's find out where this money went and let's get it back in the people's pocket. And that's why they should vote for me, because I have the allegiance to the Constitution and to we the people. And I will support you no matter what side of the aisle you're on. And if you're not registered as a Republican, you better do so immediately so you can vote for me in the primary June 15th of 2022, because that's the game they're playing. Every election season, we wonder why. How are we stuck with these candidates? How are we stuck with these candidates? It's because they're expecting you not to pay attention. Even if you have to hold your nose, I'm a fiscally conservative Republican that loves this country. That's it. I'm more a conservative than anything else. I'm a fiscally conservative business owner and father who loves this country and loves your children as much as you do and doesn't think they should be tortured and they should have the best chance at life and being successful. And that's why you should vote for me.
Well, Joey, we really appreciate that. I'm hoping that you would want to do a follow-up interview later on during the campaign season.
Absolutely. I'm here for the people to answer questions. I will never duck an interview. I'll never duck a question. Ask me whatever you want. And if I can't give you an answer, then you should be concerned. But I'll tell you this much. If I don't know, I'll just simply tell you I don't know. But I got the smartest and the best in the business that'll be helping me in my campaign, and they'll be part of my administration. And that's what'll be helping me make the business decisions. Real businessmen, not people with PhDs that teach that don't do. I'll have real business leaders and guys I've looked up to or mentors sitting around my table helping me answer the tough questions.
Awesome, Joey. We certainly look forward to it, and good luck in your campaign. And we will be talking again in the future, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for what you're doing.